Well, in case you didn't know, on this Monday morning, we're waking up to a nor'easter, and for that reason, we are in weather alert mode today. So make sure you're being super careful heading out the door. A lot of this, you guys, it just comes down to common sense. So let's dig in, starting with the Providence Skycam. Common sense would say, yes, there are raindrops coming down on the camera, and that has been the trend the entire morning. What else can we expect as we head out the door this morning? Well, an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of the 1.5 to 2.5 inches we've already seen. Gusty winds 35 miles per hour or greater. We've already seen some areas in the coast with those gusts up into the 40s. And by the way, the morning is the worst of it in terms of the wind. Minor coastal flooding possible as well, especially as we head into the afternoon. That's something to watch for. And power outages even possible, considering the heavy rain and the gusty winds. That combination could take down some weak tree limbs. So just be careful heading out the door. Let's talk numbers here. Those wind gusts, again, widespread in the 30s. We are seeing some up into the 40s, like in Boston and Block Island, for example. We have seen a few of these numbers get well up toward 45 miles per hour, especially for our friends on the coast. So that's where I do think the worst of the wind is happening. And again, the worst of the wind timing wise is pretty much right now through the end of the morning. Rain, we're just going to see rounds and rounds throughout the day. It's really not one of those situations where I can tell you that, oh, don't worry, you've got a window from this hour to this hour. No, none of that today. It's going to be basically this on and off throughout the daytime, and it is going to be more of the same into the evening. In fact, let's go through it here on Futurecast, and we'll talk about timing as that rain continues to move on in with all this moisture coming ashore thanks to this nor'easter just off the coast here. Again, you can see the rounds as we get through the late morning into the afternoon, back up into the evening. So if you do have to go to work today, I know a lot of you get the day off, but for those of you who are heading into the office, just know your commute home is going to be just as soggy as your commute to work. Even as we move into the later evening hours and tomorrow morning, still some of that heavy rain around before tapering off to showers as we get into Tuesday. More on Tuesday in a second, but I do want to hit on that coastal flooding for a second. This is going to be a pretty finite thing in terms of timing. Really the worst of this around high tide for parts of Newport County as we look to Block Island and South County as well. You can see we have those coastal flood advisories in place. Also in place, by the way, for Nantucket and the Vineyard, something to watch for if you do have friends and family out that way. Just give them a call, make sure that they are staying weather aware as well. You can see the hour by hour as we move through today. Temperatures, they're really not going anywhere. We're in the 50s now. We'll stay in the 50s for just about the entirety of your Monday. Winds still pretty gusty even after the worst of them have gone by the wayside into the second half of our day. A quick look at high temperatures here. I don't think this is the biggest forecast point of the day, but hey, if you're curious, most of us between about 55 and 60 degrees heading into the afternoon. Overnight tonight, we're back down toward 50, 51 or so. Still breezy, still showers. Some of those showers do hang on through tomorrow. It is going to be another raw feeling day, not as windy and not nearly as wet as today, but not picture perfect and sunny either. However, as we head into the middle of and end of the week, that's where we start to see things improve, especially as we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, looking and feeling much more comfortable. Wind dies down toward the weekend and more sunshine on tap as well.